Well, these old tractors never fail to keep you on your toes. Power steering was froze up. It didn't want to start. Had to give her a little snort of ether. It backed up to right here and then it died. And I had to get the propane torch out and warm up the fuel lines. There's some water in there. But now we gotta plow this driveway. Well, sorry for not filming none of that. It's too damn cold out here. Got the driveway pushed out for the dumpster guys, and I got my bale mover hooked up. We're gonna get some round bales from a buddy down the road. The cows over there don't want to dig through the snow. Well, after a little bit of trouble, we got some hay. And we got some more snow. You probably can't see that, but it's blowing pretty good. I thought we were gonna make it through winter without a bunch of this. Idle this down. My 3-point quit working. It's just it went down. Trying to get some bales off. I got one off. I can lift it up and nothing's bound up. Something must have come apart. I didn't take any of that off when we did the brakes. I'm not sure. Sorry about that. It's not no up, no down. Doesn't matter if I'm in high or constant pumping. Yeah, something just gave up. So if you wanted more tractor stuff, looks like we're gonna have to dig into that. I'm gonna have to pull all that back off, and man, I don't know what that could have been. Everything else works, the loader still works. I can't unload my bale mover, which means I can't unhook it. I don't have a jack on it. Unless I block it up and use a handyman jack to get it off my truck. But then I'm gonna have to park it where I can get somebody to come over here with a skid loader and get the rest of these off for me. Fun times, fun times. It's always something, you know. This past week's been kind of hectic. I make one video about this tractor, and all of a sudden we're having all kinds of problems. I've had this thing for probably 4 years, done very little to it. And now it got cold this week, and yeah, it just started having a bunch of issues. So I kind of needed it running, so I didn't film a lot. But I fought with this thing all week. The bales we went and got, I got one of them unloaded, and then the 3-point quit going up and down. We were going to dive into that, and then it died in the driveway, and I could not get it fired back up. And it was a little low on fuel, so I threw 5 gallons in it of fresh, shop temperature fuel. It wasn't cold or nothing, and threw a little bit of additive in it just to keep it from, gelling up. And then I got to thinking maybe that's
already what happened. Maybe there wasn't enough fuel in there to begin with. So I started looking at that, saw a little bit of water in the sight bowl when I went to drain that to see if it was frozen. I broke the bowl. So we had to wait a couple days on parts for the bowl to show up. And then I used the mini that's outside to shove it in here to get it warmed back up so I could work on it. So we put the new bowl, I got a new filter, new O-rings. Well, that obviously drains the fuel system, and you got to get that primed back up. And I've been fighting with this thing for the past day and a half, trying to get fuel where I need to get fuel. So I've been blowing lines out. Maybe there's crap in there or whatever. Because I've never changed the filter since I bought it. Fuel filters. This is the first time it's had filter put on it. I don't use it. I don't put that many hours on it in a year. So we finally narrowed it down that the fuel pump is a mechanical pump. Well, it has the primer lever, so when you can fill the filters up with that. You take the outlet line off of the first fuel filter, and if you hit the primer lever on the pump, which I'll show you here in a second, it squirts fuel out of the outlet. All good. Works great. If you leave the outlet off and you crank it over with the key, no fuel comes out. So something's wrong in the fuel pump itself, which is why I've been cranking and cracking lines loose, working my way back to try to find the air. I'm not seeing any air because I'm not getting any fuel to push the air out. So we're gonna pull the pump off and see if the lever broke or maybe the diaphragm's ripped on the inside. Try to figure something out because kind of need this thing. I haven't been able to use my truck for a week because the bale mover doesn't have a jack on it. So you got to unload it and then you block it up wherever you pull the pin, and that's where it stays. Well, I don't want to do that with bales on it. You know, that just leaves too many variables, you know. So I need to get it unloaded. I broke my top link when I threw the chain around it to shove it in here with the Mini. So we're going to have to either get one or weld one up. And it's been a heck of a week. And it's been cold. We got one more day of brutally cold. And then we're back into the mid 30s, high 30s. And seems like smooth sailing into spring. So hopefully this is the last couple days of really cold. We can get that out of the way and get working on some of these other projects. So let's take a look at the mess I have going on. Well, we found the culprit here. This is the pump that was on it. And when I took it off the block, this little piece just fell on the ground. So I took this lever out. Lucky enough, when I ordered the first pump, I accidentally ordered two of them. And I figured I'll just throw it on the shelf. And that's what it's supposed to look like. Not supposed to be broken. So we're going to throw this new one on and hope we get fuel, and then we should be back in business. My hands are going to be in the way when I go to put this in here, but It only goes on one way. Rides the camshaft in there. But we'll get that on there. There's a couple little nuts that go back there. Man, they're hard to get to. But once we get that, we'll get them lines reconnected, top and bottom, and prime it back up. So to recap what we found on this kind of a crappy video, but the lift pump broke. I redid the that's a new bowl, new filter, bled all the lines. I think we got to do injectors, do a compression check. It just, something's not right there. I also found this rim's spinning every time you change directions, so that's gonna have to be addressed. Got a new top link. The problem with the 3-point was, in order to run the loader on this, you have to push this lever forward. So when I'm plowing snow, I just use a bungee cord, and I think it just got the oil a little too hot, and the lift cylinder's probably a little wore out, so it was just bypassing oil. Got a new top link. We need to hook up a wire for the alternator. It is not charging the battery because there's nothing connected. And now that I'm running different lights and stuff, then we're gonna wire up these, put the old lights back in on the fenders. Clutch is gonna have to be done at some point. So I got the bales unloaded. They're up there. I can't really put the clutch in until I get done feeding for the year. Other than that, this tractor just unloads logs for our sawmill. So if we got a pile down there now, so I might be able to squeeze the clutch in between runs on the sawmill. So that's it for the tractor for now. We're gonna get back to work on that Mini. I've been waiting on some parts for it. They should be here today, and then we can get back to getting that going. And there's some projects coming up with that should be interesting, to say the least. So yeah, not the best video. We'll get better as we go. Once I can actually do some planning without just having catastrophic failures. Yeah, thanks for watching.